Hello everybody, my name is 3 Lives Animates, or better known as Yasuho Rants, and I'm a pretty popular ranter with a over 2,000 subscribers, almost 3,000 subscribers fan base. But I thought I would do a little tutorial today because I've seen some tutorials and apparently they do well. By the way, there won't be subtitles for this video, so turn up your volume, and here's my tutorial. First, I personally like to turn it to the black and gray-ish background transparent thingy. I don't know what to call it, but it helps me so I can see what my rant will look like overlaid with the slime. Okay, so first go on Google and choose a transparent image of your sprite. If your sprite isn't transparent, then you can just go on remove.bg, one of my favorite websites for doing these type of things. And of course, I'm making another Yasuho layout. Something I do with my sprites sometimes is I go online and try to find rent-free coloring tutorials, which show you how to color yours to make them look nice. So I'm going to put a few on screen right now that I personally enjoy using, and the one I'm using is a altered version of this one. So I'm just going to show you quickly what my coloring process looks like. This is how my sprite looks. So now this is just me putting down all the colors that I'm going to use because I don't really use laces that I find online. I use little bases and make them myself, so it's more like a recognizable style. Please make sure whenever you do that, you do it on a separate layer. Okay, this is the lace overlay I use, and I'm going to show you how I make my laces. Here are the brushes that I use as well, and here is the Ibis paint effect that I use. I'm just going to explain this and you can watch it if you'd like. What I do is I put the lace in, I put it at the highest amount of zoom so it's zoomed in properly, then I erase the bottom one, turn it, maybe around this point I've done the magic wand trick and cleared the background, or I invert it and then clear white. Then I color it a color that I want to do using the alpha lock feature, put a layer above it, use the clipping feature, then put one of the two brushes I showed you. For this one I used lines, and then airbrushed it out, or made it bigger or smaller, airbrushed it out, and made it a different color. You can kind of see in this clip, and it's kind of self-explanatory. Then I put a stroke on it. As well as that, I do the exact same thing for the bottom one, but I just duplicate it, put the layer under it, fill it with a color, repeat the exact same process that I did for the lines, but with checkers, then put a stroke on it. But I also make sure that whenever I duplicate it, I flip it. You'll see that in this clip. If you want your stroke to not be glitchy, do not use the invert clear white method. Use the magic wand method. The invert clear white method is only okay if you're going to use something that doesn't need a stroke. Now that I've done that, you can also develop your own style on that if you'd like, but now that I've done that, I put a stroke on my sprite twice and choose different colors from my color palette, and then I place it where I want it to go. As well as this, I clean up my sprite a little bit because sometimes the images are choppy. Feel free to adjust your sprite a little bit, but make it still look natural. Since I've been making layouts for a while, my gallery already has overlays in my downloads folder. If you want, you can search Google or Pinterest to find things. Here are the overlays that I used. I usually remove the background on these type of things by inverting it, clearing white with the 3 dots, and then inverting it again and placing it where I want it to go. As well as overlays, I've also found some rent-free things that help with layouts. One of these is this thingy. I do the exact same thing that I did to remove the background on the overlay that I do to remove the background on these rent-free decorations. Here's me just setting it up. Also, make sure you use the alpha lock tool to make custom coloring, or you can use the clipping tool on a different layer. Around this time, I found a miniature fan-made sprite by this artist on Reddit, and if your character has a Nendoroid or a figure that you'd like to use instead of this, go for it. This is just for my watermark though. I used a similar coloring trick here, just kind of without the tutorial, just to make it lighter. If you don't want to do this, you can keep your character's original color palette. Now that I've finished it, let's move on. This is around where I start making my watermark, since I've decided I'm done with everything else for my layout. I merge everything together so I can quickly hide and unhide it while I'm making my watermark. These are the fonts I'm using for my watermark, and here is just kind of how I do it. It kind of makes sense if you just look at it. Quick explanation, whenever you want to color your entire text, you have to rasterize it, meaning that you have to click alpha lock on the text. Make sure the texts are in both separate layers. Now that I've done that, I decide to add one more detail. This little image thing I see in a ton of rants. So I just picked a long, elongated image of Yasuho, put it on, and then duplicated it, add a background, color the whole thing with one of the colors from my color palette that we chose in the beginning, which I think by this point I already deleted the color palette. Then I add a stroke around it. My personal preference, I enjoy putting it under my other parts of my layout to make it look like the overlays are overlaying that. Lastly, I just add a small watermark with my actual username on it to prevent from stealing. I use the outline brush, which I think you have to watch an ad for or have premium for. And then I'm done with the layout. Here's the layout I made. I hope this tutorial was helpful. I'm not very good at tutorials, but I thought I would at least try to help you guys. And could you please like and subscribe and maybe watch my other rants? Anyways, thank you so much. This is 3 Lives Animates signing off.